Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a good week. Hope you have a better one this week. I know for some of us it seems like there's no end in sight, and I'd really like to just share this verse. It's in Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22, and it says, "The faithful love of the Lord never ends, and His mercies never cease." And that's something that I think we need to grab a hold of, and we need to hold on tight to for many reasons. We need to hold on to it if we're going through trials, if we're going through things that, you lost your job, lost a family member, marital problems. His mercies never end. And by that I mean, I'm not saying that He's so merciful that He's just going to make all your problems go away and everything's going to be better. You're going to snap your fingers, say a prayer, and boom, God's going to solve your problems. That's not how God works. But everything that we need, God is going to provide. Everything, a lot of times He allows things to happen, and it's for our own good. As weird as that may sound, He's protecting us from things that could possibly be worse in the future that we don't ever know. We'll never know. And if we can hold on to the faithful love of the Lord never ends and His mercies never cease, we'll always be able to remember that. Things are terrible. I lost my job. Well, His mercies never end. They never cease. And, you may have lost your job, so you can find something that's a million times better for you. Maybe God's calling you to the ministry. You don't know. But I promise you, there's a reason for everything. I know we've all heard that. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason for everything. And that's easy blanket to throw over any situation. So anybody can say that, but there is. God's mercies never cease. And another way that I think this applies is a lot of us carry sin around. A lot of us are worried about the things that we've done in the past and the things that's happened to us in the past that may have been out of our control. A lot of us carry those sins and we carry the weight of that around, and we think, who could love us that much? God can. That's who. God's mercies. I mean, I just can't explain it. I can't explain the feeling that I have, maybe because I've been there. Maybe I know the things that I've done. And not to talk about myself, I don't want to go off on that, but I know the things I've done, and I know the things I feel guilty about. I know the things that still bother me. But I also know that God's gonna be faithful, and He's gonna forgive me. He's gonna show me mercy, and He forgives me of my sins. It's why He sent His Son, His one and only Son. The one Son that He had, He sent to be crucified for me. As worthless on me, the things that I've done. And if we can hold on to that throughout this week, if you're going through your week and something just doesn't seem right, something just happens and it just really sets you over the edge and you think, man, I don't understand why that happened to me. Just know that the love of the Lord never ends and His mercies never cease. And that's going to come full circle around that. It's all for our own good. God's got a plan. God's going to work for us. God loves us. He wants the best for us. Everything good comes from the man above. So I hope everybody has a good week. I hope everybody keeps their head high. I know things seem to be worse and worse. Every time you turn on the news, things seem to be worse for the oil field. Things seem to be worse for our country. But, I've said it the last few weeks, and the one thing we can do is keep praying for our country. And remember that God is merciful, and He'll pull us through this. We just got to keep praying. Hope everybody has a good week, and I'll talk to y'all next week.